Today, I will show you the step-by-step process on how I created my monthly digital planner for this month, so let's start. Before creating the actual planner, decide what color palette you want to use, and you can use the site Color Hunt if you want some inspiration for that. And once you have chosen your color palette, open the Keynote app. Let's create a presentation and choose a theme. I prefer using the basic white, but you can use any of the themes available here. Now let's set the dimensions by going to the document setup, then slide size. You can use the same width and height as I am using here, but if you want to know how to determine the perfect dimensions and sizes you should use in your digital planner, check this video out. To create the digital planner faster, I'm going to create a template in the slide layout. I want to use the picture of my color palette, so I'm adding it through the plus icon. This is the method I use to extract the colors from the picture. For this digital monthly planner, instead of creating a digital planner that looks like a real notebook with tabs and all that, I decided to just add 7 circle buttons to access the other sections of the planner. The list of sections for the planner are the following. If you want to add additional sections, just increase the number of circles. I also want to change the colors of the circle, and to do that, tap the shape, then the brush icon. Then customize. This will be our slide layout, and let's go to the presentation. This will be the first page, and to keep it simple, I'm just going to add a calendar. I have been using the tables to make adding calendars faster and to make sure that the spacing between the dates are consistent. I don't like the calendars to have some borders, so let's remove them. I'm also going to repeat the process of using tables when adding the days of the week. I'm okay with this page already, so let's go to the next one, which is the calendar page. To make the process faster when creating this page, I am going to copy and paste the elements we created from the previous page. I am going to resize them all and add the borders to the calendar. Let's add another page. For this page, I want to have a weekly overview. And I am experimenting on the different sections of a digital planner, and I thought adding a page where I will be writing down my tasks and appointments and other important stuff in one single page would be interesting. And although I have a calendar page where I can potentially do all of those, I'm actually thinking of using the calendar page as a memory page instead, that at the end of the month or the week, I will add snippets and pictures or short descriptions of what had happened. For the next pages, I will now be creating the weekly pages of the digital planner. I added a space for notes, the financial and habit trackers, and the small calendar at the bottom. For the last months, I have been using separate pages for my financial tracker and my habit trackers, but I always gravitate toward using trackers on the same page as my weekly planner, so now I'm going back to adding them here. If you prefer your tracker to be located on a separate page, you can add a circle to the template in the slide layout and add additional slides in the presentation. For the first week of the month, since there is a small space here, I just added a space of possibilities. I'm still not sure what I will be using this space for, but we'll see. For the other weekly pages, I just duplicated the first weekly page and changed the daily spaces to fit the entire week. And once I finished that second weekly page, I just duplicated it again for the other weeks. Also, make sure to change the dates on those duplicated weekly pages. I always prefer to have dotted grid pages, so to add those, I took a screenshot of my weekly page and used the Procreate app to add the grid. If you don't have a dotted grid brush yet, you can watch this video tutorial here for the step-by-step process on how to create the brush. Once you have created a layer with a dotted grid in Procreate, open the Keynote app in split screen and drag the Procreate layer to the slide in the Keynote where you want the grid to be at. I prefer my grid to be light, almost non-existent, so I adjusted the opacity. I also want the grid to be in all of the other pages except the first one, so I just copied it and then paste. If you have watched my other digital planner creation video tutorials, you know that I always add empty pages between my weekly pages because I always use my digital planner as a journal. Now that the pages are already set, I'm going to add the links to the planner in the slide layout. If you followed my design with all the pages, you can use the following links. The links are now added, so let's export the planner to the PDF annotating app of your choice. I'm using the Goodnotes app for this one. If you want to change and customize the cover page of your digital planner in Goodnotes, you should check this video out. This is Keizle, and until next time, bye!